Camera rolling and action.
Well, my name's Sarah. I'm an Egyptian American Muslim. Yes, even though I don't wear the headscarf, I am a Muslim. Let's see. I'm the owner of Soup and Salat. I opened it up 4 years ago. We serve a plethora of delicious traditional Muslim cuisine, all halal, of course. And as you can tell by looking at the menu, I'm making a push to move away from factory farmed meat, unlike the last restaurant here, which was a burger shop.
Why is that? Why are you pushing away from factory farmed meat?
Oh, I practice Islam and feel very strongly about keeping my restaurant up to the standards of halal. And in my opinion, the halal meat industry is getting a little bit shady.
Wait, so what exactly is halal?
Halal just means permissible in Islam. That means food must be following Islamic law. So for meat, it can be no meat from hindquarters of an animal, no blood, and absolutely no pork. That's the big one. So the standards for halal are a little tricky to follow when you're in the restaurant industry. Some find it challenging, but you know what? It's worth it.
Do you think your business is struggling at all because of that? Because of the shift towards halal meat?
No, actually, being that we're located in one of America's biggest Muslim communities, actually, Dearborn, Michigan. So we get all kinds of customers here, both Muslim and non-Muslim.
And all of your customers only eat halal meat?
Well, that's what I serve.
Okay, so what if someone comes in and they demand bacon? What about the customer's always right?
Oh, hey, Michael here. Some things you wouldn't know about me. Started working here about 3 months ago, Soup and Salat. It's really just a side gig while, I practice my guitar. I'm starting a band, kind of Muslim goth metal.
Michael.
Yeah.
Please.
Sorry. So anyways, I thought it'd be a good, job for me working here because actually I'm a recently converted Muslim.
But you don't look Muslim.
Yeah, I get that a lot. It's okay. It's just a common misconception, not all Muslims are Arabs, okay? And actually, I'm trying to get my name changed to Muhammad, so, that it won't be as confusing in the future. So, it's okay. Oh! 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 Ow!
It's pretty hard to operate a Muslim restaurant during Ramadan when everyone is hungry and fasting and still preparing food for our non-Muslim customers who still come in expecting a normal day's work.
Who the f*** is that guy?
What's up? I'm Larry. I'm not a Muslim. I used to work at this restaurant since this place used to serve meat. I love meat. Sarah, she's pretty cool, She doesn't really impose that only Muslims have to work here. I mean, she hired Michael. He ain't even a real Muslim.
Oh yeah, Larry? He's a nice guy. He just kind of walked in here one day and started working, and I never really questioned it until right now. It doesn't matter that he's not a Muslim. I mean, my ex-husband wasn't either.
Isn't that frowned upon in Islam?
Oh, well, he did have to convert in order to marry me. It's not acceptable in Islam for a woman to marry a non-Muslim man, whereas a Muslim man can just marry whoever he wants as long as it's a woman by the book, meaning a Jew or a Christian.
I meant divorce.
Oh. Well, unlike the norms of taking dowry into account, we just opted to go to court. Luckily, I was able to get some alimony. Most women aren't that lucky, but it's really important to me that I can support my 2 children in the future. That's why it's important that the restaurant continues to do so well.
It was an arranged marriage.
What? That's not even common in the American Muslim community. Muslim women are strong, and the Quran is actually very progressive in gender equality and towards women's rights. Many Muslim women in this community are strong career women, contradicting a common stereotype that Muslim women need saving. Dearborn, despite fake news claims, might I add, does not have an implemented Sharia law system.
How do you feel religious minorities are treated?
Well, Dearborn does have a huge Muslim population, but in America as a whole, I do feel that Muslims are treated with prejudice and misunderstanding. We do have a lot of Muslims here, but we also have churches, bars, and concert venues. Yet if you Google Dearborn, Michigan, the first thing that'll come up is ISIS flags, and the first video that shows up on YouTube is Dearborn, Michigan, an example of why Trump was right. And Trump, that's another one. Don't even get me started on that one.
Wait, Trump was right? Right about what?
Our community is currently dealing with the aftershocks of an implemented Muslim ban. It's aimed to help reduce terrorism, but to be honest, all it really does is increase generalizations and Islamophobia across the country. Islam is a peaceful religion, and not all Muslims are terrorists.
Hey, Michael, so, tell me about your taste in music.
Have you heard of a little band called Oasis and Wonderwall, by any chance?
Can you play, or do you know anything else, or?
Yeah, lately I've been experimenting with some really spiritual music. Music actually plays a huge role in Islam. Within Islam, there's a sect called Sufi, and they're famous for the whirling dervishes, who are these wacky guys that spin to the music of Islam, and they get into this spiritual trance and say that they're drunk on the devotion of God. And I just love that music can, I love the idea that music can help someone find that, you know?
So, off the record, how does Sarah feel about you converting to Islam?
She does her best to teach me. She's teaching me how to do the daily prayer, and she makes sure I do it 5 times a day, because I forget all the time, but, you know.
So, what is a day in the life of an American Muslim?
A day in the life. That's more of a Sarah question, honestly. I'm so new to this whole thing, but from what I've learned so far, it's kind of a struggle, you know? The Muslim community at our mosque and in town is very tight-knit and welcoming, but, there's some Islamophobia, in our national culture that's just coming up.
So there's never any problems within the community?
Well, there are a few Muslims here and there that really insist on being traditional, and sometimes people comment on Sarah's lack of hijab or her divorce, and sometimes I get comments, why is your name Muhammad, or what, stuff like that.
Where are they?
Doing one of their prayers. Personally, it's my favorite part of the day.
Why is that?
You have to ask. Down the hatchet.
Are you allowed to do that? Doesn't it say somewhere in the Quran that you can't do that?
I ain't no Muslim.
Alright, well, what are your thoughts on Donald Trump?
Donald Trump.
Oh, excuse me, can I... When I ordered this, I asked for cooked pasta? Excuse me, sir?